Welcome to part 2 of working with subtitles. In this tutorial, we're going to use Adobe Premiere, Media Encoder, and After Effects to transcribe our audio to text and then embed it as subtitles in our video project. Okay, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to open Adobe Premiere Pro and start a new project. I'm going to keep all the defaults here and call our project Ellerslie. Click OK. I was working on it earlier, so it exists. So just overwrite that. Now, available preset I'm just going to work with is the standard widescreen. Sequence name, doesn't really matter, going to keep it the same. Because my recording resolution is so small, you can't see the OK button, but I'm just going to hit OK. And there we have it. So the first thing you will want to do is make sure your workspace is under meta logging. That will give us the best layout for what we want to do here. So we need to file and import the movie that we want to work with, or the video clip rather. So go to the same one that I used in the first tutorial and import. Okay, so there we have it. So there's our movie. Now, what we want to do is make sure that we right mouse click and say Analyze Content. What this is going to do for us is this is going to perform the actual transcription of the audio to text. So we want to make sure that we've checked speech, English, and we want to make sure it's the high version. It will detect more text and do a better job. So we'll do the high. Click OK. And now what that's actually going to do is open up Adobe Media Encoder to perform the analysis. So we'll just let that run. So the one thing to note that you're going to want to do is make sure that you have closed all your applications on your computer and that you have as much RAM or as much memory as is available. These processes take up a lot of resources, and the less resources they have, the longer it's going to take to process. This is only a 10-minute video, and this is going to take a few minutes to process. The hour-long ones can take much longer. Okay, so we're all done there. What I'm going to do is just close that to save some memory. Okay, so here we go. This is what it has transcribed out of that 10 minutes of footage. It's not perfect. The recording I have actually is not, the audio on it is not that good, so if we had clearer audio we would actually get some better results. But out of the box it's not too bad. If we can just play that back.
10 resolutions of manly honor. That's a good way to kick this semester off.
Okay, so right away we see that there are some missing words, some words are not right. So what we can do here is, now the fun part is the cleanup. So we can edit individual words and they will maintain their timing. And we were missing a word here. So if we right mouse click, we have options. So we can say insert word after, and we can say honor. So you can play and replay as many times as you need.
10 resolutions of manly honor.
Forgot the word of. We can even insert, it's not the end of the world to just tag on an extra word within the block. It's not going to do, especially the small words, it's not that big of a deal. Or we could have just added the word after and in between there. You can capitalize or change case, whatever you like. So if we listen.
10 resolutions of manly honor.
Okay, so we probably, now, it's going to be important later on to have punctuation so people can understand better the grammar of what's going on. So we want to make sure we get our punctuation in there, and capitalization. You can have all sorts of fun.
Some other title options for this particular.
Click the wrong spot.
10 resolutions of manly honor. That's a good way to kick this semester off.
It's a good way. It's a good, I'm cheating a bit here. Actually, let's insert to kick. Let's insert the word before. Good way to kick this semester.
Honor. It's a good way to kick this semester off.
The word after. Off. Period. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just so you get an idea.
10 resolutions of manly honor. It's a good way to kick this semester off. 10 resolutions of manly honor.
Let's fix this one as well. Let's add the punctuation.
Semester off. 10 resolutions of manly honor. Before I get into what the 10 resolutions...
Okay, so that gives you an idea. You're going to have to go through and clean up your text because this is what you're going to display as the subtitles. But at this point, we are essentially done with Adobe Premiere. It's gone through and it's set us up and it's allowed us to edit. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I save this. And again, I'm just going to close it and exit it. So what it has done actually is it's taken this transcribed text and it's actually embedded it in the file. So by me saving it, I've actually only saved the project here. The text has been saved right to the movie file. So I just exit out of here and I go into After Effects now. And all I need to do is start, I'm in a new project and I just need to import that movie file. I don't need any extra files, nothing. So import that. So now we have that file in, and if we start a new composition, because we always work on compositions in After Effects, what we see is, if I expand this out, we can see that the text is indeed embedded in the timeline. So it's all there. Now we just need to find a way to display it on the screen. So to do that, we just take our text tool and let's put it down there. I want to make sure a few things like that were centered. 48-point font is probably good. We'll leave it at that. Now what we do need to do is create a script file. Because what would happen by default is we would get one word displayed at a time, and that gets a little repetitive and a little too flashy. So we need to write a bit of a script here that lets us group words together. Now it's not perfect, but this, keep in mind, this is an automated task. So our script is going to be pretty good. It will group it in whatever number of words we choose. You'll see in the script where we can set that value. I'm going to start off with about 5 words grouped at a time, and we'll go from there. So I added my text tool, and you can see I've expanded down here. I'll expand one more time. So the source text for this label, I am going to option click, and what's that has done is gives me the choice to add an expression. So my expression I'm going to write here. It's fairly complex. I got to write a bit of a loop. So what I've done is I've prepared that in advance, and I will show that to you right now. So what this is essentially JavaScript is what this is based on. Just a bit of a loop to go through the process. So first thing we do is we make sure that we name the file correctly based on the file that we've actually opened, and that is the one that we're using. So here's where we set the number of words. So how many words are going to be displayed at the same time, and the rest, if you want to go through it and figure it all out more, just go right ahead. It's a simple loop. to process the information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that, and in place of the source text here, I'm going to paste that. Okay, so it's all in right there, and if we've done it right, correct, there are no errors. So let's see what we got. Unfortunately, there is no audio. There we go. 10 resolutions of manly honor. Okay, that seems to be working quite well. In a nutshell, that's essentially it. It's not that complex. As you can see, there are limitations, but what it has done, it has gone through the entire video, transcribed it to text, and now it's presenting it as subtitles. The one thing to note, when you are happy with everything, like if you need to reposition, you can reposition, you can resize, you can set your font, you can set whatever you like for your text, the different colors, if that doesn't work for your background, that's all easily set. When we add it to render queue, by default, the audio is not turned on. So if you were to render this and output it, you would have no audio. So this is the number one big question that keeps cropping up, is people miss out on the fact that they need to turn on the audio in the render queue. So once you turn that on, you will get your audio out as well. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to the address on the screen.